All right, so today we've got a CB500F. This is a 2016 model. It's a customized version of one. What we're going to do today is adjust the rear shock, the preset on that, because I've been having a bumpy ride on this thing and I don't like it. To do that, we're going to come right back here behind this exhaust. That's where the bottom of the shock lies, and that's where our adjustment is as well. Now, this specific shock was used on models from 2015 to 2018, and it was also on the CB500F, the X, and the CBR, all the 500 range. The other ones, 300 and 600 models, were a different shock. So don't think this technique doesn't apply to other motorcycles and other shocks, because the shock technology is, the same idea. So looking down here, that is our guy. That's the one we're looking for. That's the collar on the bottom of the shock. And you can see the little notches on there. You can also see that little yellow dot. That is what is officially called the alignment index mark. And on mine, it's just a little piece of yellow paint. But I have that mark on both sides of the bike. You'll note that that mark exists right directly above the bolt here. So that bolt there, the mark is directly above it. On both sides of the bike, it's like that. This is a bolt on the bottom of the shock. That's where the shock mounts to this triangle down on the bottom here. That's the mount right there, and there's the shock right over there. Now, my particular bike was used when I got it, and it did not come with a toolkit. I had to order the little spanner wrench that is supposed to come with the toolkit for the bike from the factory. The little spanner wrench is what you use to adjust the shock. There's also like a factory tech tool that you can order. That one is way more expensive. So tip here, if you don't have a toolkit on your bike, just order the wrench from the toolkit. It's a lot cheaper than the one that is supposed to be used by the service techs. So this is the tool I'm referencing. This is the part number on that tool. Let's get this guy out. Let's see if we can adjust some things. All right, so in order to adjust the preload on this shock, you can see the little yellow dot there in relation to the bolt below it. So to increase the preload, we want to move that yellow dot to the left. To decrease the preload, we want to move the yellow dot to the right. So if the suspension is too harsh, move the yellow dot to the right. If it is too soft, move the yellow dot to the left. And there are a total of 9 possible adjustment positions on this shock. All right, so for model years from 2013 to 2015, it comes preset from the factory at position number 3. So your little yellow dot will be at position number 3. And then for model years from 2016 to 2018, it comes preset from the factory at position number 4. So right about in the mid-range there. All right, and basically the way this wrench works is that you've got a little notch, the little notch in the actual collar of the shock over there. In those notches go this little section here and this little section down there. So this grips it, and then you twist it around either way. So we just go in here with the wrench, set it up on the collar, depending on which direction we want to go, and then we push it over one this way or turn the wrench around like so, set it up on the collar, and then push it around that way. So that's how you do it. I have adjusted this guy. I've decreased it because I had a harsh ride on this thing. It was too bumpy, and I'd like it to be a little bit softer. So we've adjusted it now. I'm gonna go for a ride and see if it's any better. Also to note is that you do not have to raise up the rear end of this bike to remove tension on that spring. You can leave it on the ground just like this bike here is. That's how I did it. The tension on the collar on that shock is not as great as I would have expected. And so this job is actually pretty quick and easy job to do. Bike on the ground, just get down there with your tool and make the adjustment and you're good to go. You can do this while you're riding. If you have your toolkit with you and you're like, man, I need to adjust the preload on this thing. You can totally just get out your little toolkit, make the adjustment, and keep on riding. And the access is probably easier. I did it from the chain side of the bike rather than this exhaust side of the bike. Oh, and if you're looking for the part numbers for that wrench, I'm gonna have it in the description of this video, as well as any other tools I might have used in this video, which are none. It was just that wrench. All right, so that's it for this quick video on how to adjust the suspension on the rear of your CB500. There's not much to it. That's the only adjustment feature on this bike. It's not a high-end bike, you know, this is an entry-level bike basically. It's got cheaper components, but they're perfectly adequate for normal daily driving, and that's basically what this bike is for. So enjoy your bike if you've got one of these, and keep on wrenching, everybody. We'll talk to you later.